When you were young and sitting too close to the harsh glow of that box set television your console was attached to, dreams came all too easy.
100 Thieves, 2 words, very easy to oversimplify, but for me, it has much more meaning than that.
Yeah. Hey man, what you gonna do? Bad man gonna come for you.
Bang is alive and Bang is slinging, the gun is loaded, and Bang has scored the ace for 100 Thieves.
Hey man, hear what I say, don't throw it all away.
100 Thieves, they are your CWL London champions.
100 Thieves, for me, is my life. Every decision I make and every piece of content I produce and really every breath I take is to take 100 Thieves to a greater place.
Hey man, what you gonna do? Bad man gonna come for you.
Nothing is going to be handed to you. You're going to have to work hard for everything that you want in life. And so for me, 100 Thieves, you got to put 100% of yourself and 100% of everything that you do and go and take what's not given.
Baby, now when it's all gone and everyone says you're so wrong, you're throwing your life away. And you'll say, "Dude, it's time to show them all the ways." Say so long to every doubt that you stood on. Today's gonna be your day, your day. Today's gonna be your day.
When Matthew Nadeshot Haig finished his professional career, he was lost.
At the time, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And I didn't have anything that defined myself. I didn't have anything that defined Nadeshot anymore. I didn't have anything that defined Matthew Haig. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to make sure people were still interested in who I was post-competition.
One of Call of Duty's most beloved stars and gaming's largest personalities, Nadeshot moved from Chicago to LA in the hopes of building something bigger, something that existed after GG was called and the lights went out.
100 Thieves, 2 words, very easy to oversimplify, but for me, it has much more meaning than that. When you look at life, it's not easy. It's not a simple thing. It's not something that you can just breeze through. It's a series of ups and downs. It's a series of obstacles and challenges that you need to overcome yourself. You need to go into every situation and you need to wake up every single day knowing that you're gonna have to go and take what's not given to you. I think for me, that's what the definition of a thief is.
And so, there it was, a new organization dedicated to being more than just joysticks and keycaps, a lifestyle, not just a game. Nadeshot started the brand as a way for fans of the esports and gaming world to latch on to a fashionable name that they felt connected to. Fashion had already crept into his own YouTube content, so starting with apparel and Call of Duty during the Black Ops 3 era felt like a natural fit.
No way, bro. No way, bro. No way. What? Oh, this is unbelievable. It looks fresh. It makes me mad that we're not selling it already.
When I talked about me returning to competitive Call of Duty, it was more or less if I want to compete again, and I decide to compete again, it's gonna involve me, basically starting my own team. Okay, and like I have a dope name for the team that I think that I've really fallen in love with. I just have a lot of ideas and plans and a lot of things for the future, and that's really where I'm at right now.
So there he was, with a name, a logo, and a bunch of promises. But where do you go next? Well, in short, you chase the money. Late in 2017 and early in 2018, the hot button topic across the esports world was franchising. Massive investors from the world of traditional sports and entertainment were looking to invest millions into esports orgs. And one of those orgs was 100 Thieves, who received a multi-million-dollar investment from Cleveland Cavaliers owner Dan Gilbert that would allow them to purchase a coveted slot in the newly franchised NALCS.
I don't want to beat around the bush any more than I have to, so I'm just going to say it, and then we're going to talk specifics. So, my company, 100 Thieves, has received a multi-million-dollar investment from Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, to help me build my business.
Overnight, 100 Thieves went from a name and a logo to a multi-million-dollar esports organization with its footing in the world's biggest game. Now, it was time to put a team together. 100 Thieves took an aggressive approach from the get-go. They weren't looking to start small. They wanted to win right away. And so they went out and signed the hottest free agent on the market and surrounded him with talented veterans.
We are so incredibly proud and excited to welcome Afromoo as the support player for the 100 Thieves roster moving into the 2018 LCS. We got Afromoo! Woo!
On paper, the team had the star power to compete with NA's best. And early on, that's exactly what they did.
Slow. And then one more hit. Hyper's gonna have to connect once again. Crimson Rush just about to come up. Oh! That would keep Impact alive. Someday just under the turn. Oh, he gets him as it comes out.
He did. Top die.
Yeah. Popped in the bloodless 100 Thieves. Gonna turn around and maybe try and save them someday. Mid-fight TP. He's gonna save Meteos, who goes back in. And now Cody finds the snipe onto Huynh. What a turnaround from the Thieves.
It's not like TSM are bleeding out, but now they might be caught. Hawks are gonna be caught out there. Afromoo initiating things in style as Mike Young gonna have that passive pop. TSM hopping away. The Bloblets crawl back together, but they crawl to the grave.
And heading into the spring 2018 playoffs, 100 Thieves looked primed to win it all. That is, until the finals rolled around.
Baron, 1/4 HP, very, very low.
Smithy
wanting to go over the wall.
Oh, they make it!
He's got it! Smithy with the steal! Oh my god, and he gets out! And now it might be Liquid, who's found 100 Thieves to reinvest. But a 4-man shuffle finds them all, and Liquid finds huge success.
Pobelter coming in from the side, and the Thieves have found themselves in a very precarious spot. They retreat.
This could very well be where the game ends. Someday now the target on the front line, a double kill for Double Lift. Ryu is the last man standing, but he shall not stand for long. They've all been to the final stage before, and now they'll be there victorious together as Team Liquid are your North American LCS Spring Split champions.
I'm so proud of you guys, regardless. You have 5 players who never played together with each other. A lot of you guys who a lot of people didn't think still had it. And you guys fucking crushed it. You guys finished first. For 100 Thieves, it's our first year ever. And you guys did so much more than we could have ever expected. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, seriously. Thank you.
It was a bitter ending to an impressive run in their first ever LCS split. But undeterred, they kept the ball rolling, securing a second consecutive playoff berth in the summer. But things did not go as planned.
We can hit, guys. Okay, next wave, then I'm gonna hit.
Alright, look.
If Camille comes in, I can stop the backline. Gragas can stop the backline.
Yeah, okay.
When Camille ultis you, make sure you ulti him only.
Okay, let's walk up.
I'll stop Science.
This is a triple down Drake. Hold on, Hanser. He's looking for a flank. They know that he's there.
There's the angle, finds someone, it's N who gets the first knockup, but now Afro with the headbutt's gonna move Hanser back in towards the rest of his team. Oh, they're trying to disengage, but Hanser low. He's gonna have to be resurrected by the chrono shift.
Billion ult is down.
Runs away, Hanser though still not that tanky, he's gonna fall! Oh, no! The shield's enough, but Curdy tries to make it happen. X-Tank ultimatum into Killer Instinct, it's gonna be the kill! And there's the kill on the Sunday, finally loses that Guardian Angel. It's so close, Sunday flashes in, he gets the kill, he actually took down Sven, but Afro low, Brick gets the next kill on the Sunday. TSM, they found the ace! And a TSM, the ones left standing here, pushing down mid lane! And finally, the fans can be proud to roar their name again, as TSM will take down 100 Thieves!
Despite getting knocked out of the summer split playoffs, their back-to-back playoff appearances landed them a spot at Worlds, representing North America, an incredible feat for a first-year team. But, like in the summer playoffs, it wasn't meant to be.
Once again, 100 Thieves won the assassination, but Shy solo kills out the backline. But it's been a trade of 80 carries, so the 4v4 continues as the first revive comes through, but Ryu is already gone. 4v3 the chase-in. Baolang gonna fight against Afro, but Afro's over the wall. Still the kills coming through fast and furious. IG knocked down everyone except that zombie and except Afromoo. IG gonna be 5-0. We know the base is gonna fall. Baolang versus Afro, maybe a close fight on this one, but it's certainly the Nexus dropping. 1-in-400 Thieves, the best they can do is battle to hold on to third place. IG undefeated coming into the last game of the group stage.
they were hit in the face with just how good world-class teams are, and at the same time, they were catching heat from fans for their fractured lineup. Meteos was traded out of the blue, and Cody Sun was benched without notice for the entirety of Worlds.
There's an elephant in the room in the LCS community, and that was a recent trade that we made. And I just want to talk to you guys about this trade, just because we definitely have done a poor job with our messaging. And that's one thing that we have done a ton of self-reflection about, and we've learned a lot about. I want you guys to know that we're going to get better.
It really hurts me personally that the organization itself is taking a lot of heat for it, specifically just because the story that is shown is a lot different than what people see.
I want to admit that was my lack of understanding of this world that I have not been a part of throughout my entire career. And that is where I'm very disappointed in myself for not having the tools or the knowledge to understand how to better direct my team. Because it is really disheartening for me to see how much hard work has gone into this year from our entire organization, and to see the community backlash that they've received by association with 100 Thieves. That's really disappointing for me, and I know that I need to do better.
And as we now know, despite that glimmer of success in 2018, their performance didn't exactly translate into 2019. But in a fashion uncharacteristic of new teams, they started to pick themselves back up come the summer, albeit after a flurry of roster changes.
Fang's got teleport, he can finish it up too. 5 members of 100 Thieves looking to get their first victory! And they might just do it, as somehow Echobox must defend 3 versus 5. Apollo barely alive, but the turrets are not, as they keep going for more. The Nexus will fall, and 100 Thieves are on the board!
Now Fakeo's found the takedown. Goodbye, the rest of Cloud9 and Hollow. 100 Thieves picking up your second straight win. 100 Thieves get a rip through the next few towers and continue their little bit of momentum. It's enough to get an upset here as they'll just dive towards the fountain, dive under the Nexus, and take their win over Cloud9.
1 turret is gone. 100 Thieves looking for the play. Onto the backland. Stopwatch. Beautiful. Viper's going to go down without anything to his name, and now the Nexus is open. They're going to find these kills. They're going to find their win. 3 in a row for 100 Thieves.
There's still a long way to go, but 100 Thieves have stayed true to what they stood for when they first jumped into League of Legends. They haven't been afraid to make changes and shake things up. Staying true to Nadeshot's Call of Duty roots, the organization's foray into esports didn't stop at League of Legends. Since finalizing their roster back in August of 2018, 100 Thieves have quickly become one of the best and most beloved teams in Call of Duty.
Thank you to Matt, Yeezy, John Robinson, 100 Thieves, for the opportunity for me to be a part of this amazing organization and team. I know the amount of work that he puts in and day out, and how much of a super fan, it's kind of weird to be honest, that he is. But on top of that, I made this all top of the dome. Let's run it up.
They're a rabble of characters led by one of COD's biggest current personalities. They're loud, in your face, and most importantly, can compete with the best of them.
They haven't finished A. Kenny wins the gunfight though. A goes in. Kenny able to get another one. Kenny going huge. He's close to streaks, and this could be it. Reciprocity just have to race in, but Kenny lights him up.
And on top of all that, on May 5th, 2019, they brought 100 Thieves something they've been chasing since their inception.
If you're United, you have to get off of it. You have to rotate inside of this house. Sif behind his war machine. Can he break? He's only going to find one and get taken down.
But the trades, they're coming through. Can he know with the headshot? They're in the hard point. Just 2 more points needed. There's no contest. And we've got a new champion.
I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna pass out. Let's go! Let's go!
100 Thieves. They hoist the trophy. They are your CWL London champions.
Go! I can't feel my hands.
This is the first championship 100T has brought home, and we want to do it for Nate. He's been such just an amazing owner to us and friend. I couldn't be happier to get this chip for 100T.
Let's go!
Coming into this event, did you think you would...
And then just weeks later, they brought home another one.
They're making their push, their championship push right here. What a cluster! It's actually going to connect on 2. Slasher drops him. 5 seconds needed. Can
100 Thieves do it. Nobody there for Gen G, and that's back to back.
There's no doubt that 100 Thieves have burst into the esports world, but it's not what happens on stage that makes this org different from the rest. What makes them different is the brand they've built outside of esports. The camera in hand, let the outside world see everything kind of attitude that Nadeshot built himself on.
You got this flip screen, right? I know how to vlog. No, but you don't want to look at the flip screen. You're trained to look at yourself. Don't look at yourself.
Okay, what am I looking at?
You want to look directly into the camera. Look at the camera. And you want to make sure you enunciate. You got to project.
All right.
Okay.
YouTube. How the fuck you doing? Eden Neighbor White here, bringing you a brand new vlog.
True to the content meets pro play brand that Nadeshot envisioned, 100 Thieves were quick to add a massive sponsor right off the bat. When their LCS team started, so did The Heist, their weekly documentary series that follows the trajectory of their team and brings fans directly into the team house. It's truly a boardroom meets vlog operation, and that struck a chord with the gaming world.
We're about to become master chefs today. Well, the one thing that Amazing said yesterday is that he wants to get to know you guys a little bit better. So we're gonna cook together. Teams that cook together, win together. Bang, my boy. Yeah, there you go. I like the Gucci wallet.
Yeah, and Gucci shoes.
Hell yeah, you look like money, and I love it. You look like money.
Money?
Yeah, you look like money, like good. You look rich.
Oh, wow. I'm not a rich.
You got a Porsche, Rolex, Gucci shoes, Gucci wallet, and I know how much money you made. You're rich.
From the outside looking in, this move looked like a good one. It was flashy, and the players had some swagger. This new house looked expensive and legit. And from the inside, it was a win-win. They'd leveraged outside investment to add some flash to their team, and turned that into content. So that's how it started. Gilbert hands them some cash, and Nade and company turn it into a League of Legends team and a growing YouTube brand. But there was more to come. They announced a partnership with Red Bull, created the first ever esports locker room in conjunction with fashion marketplace app StockX, and outfitted their team in Yeezys.
At the beginning of our season, our first match ever, I told every individual on our roster that if you beat Optic Gaming in our first match ever, I'm gonna buy you a pair of Yeezy 350 boosts.
Oh my god. No.
Boys.
I'm afraid to slip or something.
I said this once before, I'll say it again. I don't want to get too corny. That first match you guys played against Optic, I know it was like 6 months ago, but it meant so much to me and everybody in our organization that you guys pulled through and validated what we were trying to do in our first game ever. That's how great StockX is, because they made this happen, so they wanted to be a part of this and show you guys love, and it really helped me because I didn't have to pay like an outrageous amount of money, so. Woo! I got a cop out. Shouts to StockX, we love StockX.
While Gilbert's initial investment and the success of their league franchise kickstarted their year in 2018, Nadeshot and his crew were looking elsewhere to take the brand from an upstart esports team that also sells shirts here and there to larger than life. And it doesn't get much bigger than Drake.
We obviously had a really big announcement this past week. We had Scooter Braun and Drake. They led our Series A, which is a round of investment. You know, this Drake and Scooter announcement that we just dropped on social media, and obviously in this video, if you weren't aware, this is something that we've been working on for about 6 months.
In the span of 1 year's time, an organization that started as an idea was now co-owned by one of the most famous people on planet Earth. So there was nothing left to do but go bigger. Since that second investment, the team has taken off. Fortnite, like it has for many in the gaming space, also exploded for 100 Thieves. They were one of the first orgs to strike when the game started to rise in prominence. But for 100 Thieves, the game was a match made in heaven. They immediately started signing some of the biggest names in the game to their team.
The World Cup is going to be the biggest spectated event in history, I guess, for Fortnite. So I think it's like 20,000 people can fit in the stadium, which is absolutely crazy. If I was to win the World Cup, I would be able to support my family in ways that I can't do right now. Yeah, it's a lot of money to have. I don't know if I'm ready for the responsibility, but I'm ready to win.
Winning to me and my family, I don't really think much about the money. Ever since I started playing this game, I've always wanted to be known as the best player. And so for me, it's kind of, I'm always playing for that title. I want to be like a legend in esports, not just a player.
It says a lot about the score, the skill, and everything, but there it is on your screen.
cease and elevate. $1.8 million. A great performance from everyone in the top 20, from everyone who made it to here across weeks of grueling competition. It pays off in a big way.
But it didn't stop there. They also went right after streamers. This content-focused world is something few understand more intimately than Nadeshot, because frankly, that's where he thrives.
The original idea behind 100 Thieves was to build something bigger, that all-encompassing, that it was all-inclusive, that people could really feel like they were a part of because they believed in what we were creating and what it stood for. From the get-go, the brand was going to be defined by the creators that we brought underneath our roof. You know, I wanted other individuals who were excelling at what they do day in and day out. I wanted them to be excited to be a part of a bigger collective. And so it was really, really important to me to find creators that I believed in.
In fact, the move towards streamers, their big personalities, and the world of Twitch has been so huge for 100 Thieves that they took it one step further.
Come on, Ray.
This is our kitchen.
Hold on, let me open the blinds.
This is our second living room.
I would love to learn how to do maybe like some laps. I mean, look at this place. You gotta show it off. Wait, show them the art. Yeah, come on in.
Okay.
All right, Ray. What are we doing today?
We are doing a 100 Thieves house tour video. Am I supposed to call it something else?
It's the 100
Thieves Content House Tour. LA.
Name. 100 Thieves
Content House LA.
They quite literally put internet personalities in a house together so they could fuck around and make videos. Specifically, the addition of Courage served as a jumping off point for more lifestyle and vlog content rather than just strictly gameplay.
What did you just say about Pokimane?
Yeah, we were. Hot dog.
Pokimane White Knight in the Pokimane White Knight. Welcome to the Nadeshot and Courage Show.
They changed the name? The Courage and Nadeshot Show. I mean, I didn't have anything to do with that.
In many ways, this show encapsulates a lot of what 100 Thieves has come to be. It's about personalities that transcended the games that they play, much like what Nadeshot envisioned 100 Thieves to be when the brand was nothing more than a few shirts and a twinkle in the mind of an anime-obsessed 20-something.
You could create your own anime.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I have thought about that. I really believe that
Jaden Smith did it.
If I took the time to really sit down and come up with a universe and a concept for like an anime, I would fucking crush it. I'm not even kidding. I have chills right now. And Gohan defeats Cell with a one-arm Kamehameha, and he's got his dad talking to him from the afterlife. Gohan, you can do this. Oh, it's the fucking best.
But with success always comes controversy, and the first significant spat for 100 Thieves happened recently with popular Fortnite streamer Nick Merckx. The two parties started their relationship just as Fortnite, and notably Nick's channel, were taking off. And well, he became massive, racking up tens of thousands of viewers at a time on his channel while also performing in Fortnite esports. But as far as the king of Tilted Towers was concerned, the relationship wasn't as mutually beneficial as he'd originally hoped, and he made that very clear.
I mean, we went out there, the plan was for me to grow, and in turn that would grow 100 Thieves, right? That was my role, you know, and he made some promises to me as a friend, how we were gonna do it, how he was going to take care of me. It just didn't end up happening, man. I mean, are they doing good work over 100 Thieves? Yeah, you know, but for me, when you give me your word and you promise certain things to me as a friend and a business partner, and I put years of time into something that we basically started, and then everything changes and I don't get what I was promised, I mean, I got problems with it, you know? So it is what it is.
I have a lot of respect for what Nick has done with his career. I'm sorry that Nick feels the way that he does. I'm not going to make a comment or statement on the situation at hand. I just don't think that there's any point in having this back and forth. It's just a tough situation all around. So that's all you guys are going to hear from me on the matter.
This was a first for 100 Thieves, a player coming out and prominently claiming that the organization mistreated him. Nick even commented on his relationship with Nadeshot explicitly.
I don't hate the guy, you know? I definitely don't hate him, but I don't like him. You know, him and I are not cool. We're never gonna be cool. I don't want nothing to do with him. I'll never do business with him. I'll never sit down at a table with him ever again.
Quite possibly the most staggering thing about 100 Thieves exists outside the world of gaming entirely. Their apparel has extended its reach past games, past Twitch, and into the streetwear and fashion zeitgeist.
When you really take a look at the success that they've had in the apparel space, I think Nadeshot, having his own history, being a fan of sneaker culture, being a fan of streetwear, you know, he gets the concept of those limited drops. You know, when you see somebody now with a 100 Thieves hoodie, you know that they're wearing a hoodie that was hard to get. And I think specifically for gamers and for esports fans, 100 Thieves has done a great job of putting all of those ingredients together to build this amazing kind of like hype train that they have going on right now.
During 2018, both of their apparel drops sold out instantly, with the most recent one generating over $500,000 in revenue in under 5 minutes and reselling on StockX for more than double the initial price. This trend doesn't look like it's going to slow down either. Nade recently announced the acquisition of Doug Barber, a former head of the renowned athletics and streetwear brand Reigning Champ.
You know, we've spent the last, you and I worked on recruiting and hiring Doug for almost 9 months. So like that whole experience, learning about what the fashion industry, what the men's apparel industry looks like, finding a senior executive to come in and lead that for us. I think the potential for that business is almost unlimited right now. And so I'm really, really excited to see Doug, the team that he builds and the creative vision that he has and how we can help bring that to life.
Recently, 100 Thieves announced yet another massive investment in their company, $35 million in Series B funding.
Yeah, you say it, because you did a lot of hard work on this.
We have raised $35 million from Artist Capital Management.
Oh my God, that's a lot of money. $35 million. I never seen so much money in my life. It hit the bank account, and I thought we were about to run up a check. But then John said we have to be fiscally disciplined or financially disciplined.
Fiscally responsible.
Fiscally responsible is the exact phrasing he used.
Yes.
That's a lot of zeros, a lot of commas, and a lot of ends.
It's a lot of responsibility.
It is a lot of responsibility. It is a lot of responsibility, which I don't like that word.
Paired with this announcement was the unveiling of their massive downtown Los Angeles team facility that will pull their esports operations out of assorted mansions and into their state-of-the-art facility.
I am so incredibly excited because this is the moment that John and I have been waiting for a very long time now.
We love our players. We wanted to bring them here. Right now we got our league team and our COD team and a bunch of other people and our creators. We want to bring everybody under one roof.
And this is a 15,000 square foot facility that will be able to house everyone that we have now and everyone that we'll continue to build with in the future.
We're talking an apparel retail space, enough team practice rooms to house 2 more full esports teams, massive editing and content space, lounges, couches, everything you'd expect from esports' most glamorous organization. Nadeshot himself even teased a jump back into Counter-Strike after their earlier attempt to get into the scene was short-lived, just days after we went live with the announcement.
Aspirationally, of course, I've always wanted to be a part of other games. I think CSGO is top of mind for me just because we had a CSGO team at one point, and unfortunately it was just a very messy situation with a lot of different variables that we could not foresee, and we had to release that team. Whoa. This is why I can't vlog, because nothing we do in here I can ever talk about. It's fucking stupid.
Show everything but the screen.
We're getting a CSGO team, is basically what I'm telling you. We're getting a CSGO team. We're getting a CSGO team.
It's out there now.
We're going to be in CSGO. 100 Thieves is coming.
And so, with this latest news, that vision of scuffed controllers, championship trophies, off-white sneakers, Louis Vuitton bags, and boardroom deal closings has somehow come true. This organization has surpassed esports in an unprecedented way because they don't just bring you to the game, they show you a lifestyle. Something serious but casual, a little bit of Chicago hot dogs, and a little bit of Los Angeles fast food. You don't just want to cheer them on. You want to act like them, vlog like them, dress like them, and feel like you're a part of something born on the internet but built into celebrity. Something taken. You want to be a thief. Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring that notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit up our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages.